the Department of Public Works, I've got several updates. County Route 620, that's Reddington Road, is closed for the replacement of culverts R48 and R49. Those culverts will be replaced one at a time, starting with R48, and the road closure and the posted detour plan will correspond to that. The entire project is intended to last 6 to 8 weeks and is expected to be completed before the Balloon Festival. And Calagritas Contracting has been contracted to do the work. County Culvert U11, that's on Finn Road in Union Township, was closed on April 17th unexpectedly after an inspection by the county engineer deemed the concrete deck to be unsafe for travel. A detour has been posted while county forces design and construct its replacement. County personnel are striving to have the roadway reopened before the Memorial Day weekend. Recent work completed on County Culvert W92 on County Route 601 in West Danville Township is a success story using a centrifugally casted cement lining. Culvert W92 consisted of a 36-inch deteriorating corrugated steel pipe located very deep under the road that would have required a tremendous amount of excavation to replace it. After extensive research and direction by the county engineer, it was decided to restore the pipe by experimenting with this casted cement lining. The lining was successfully installed last week without digging, without reduction of capacity, without any inconvenience to traffic, and at a significant savings to the taxpayers of Hunterdon County. The new pipe is 100% environmentally sound, waterproof, and expected to last for decades. The Department of Public Works is excited to have another tool in its toolbox to help maintain the county's infrastructure, and will continue to research other methods with the goal of providing the best service possible in the most efficient way possible. As the Health Department liaison, I have several matters to report on this evening. At our last commissioner meeting, I announced a new program offering for residents free vision screening. The Health Department is partnering with the New Jersey Commission of the Blind to provide free vision screening for all residents ages 3 and above. The program can also offer support for those who cannot afford eyeglasses. The first session of the screening program is scheduled for May 25th, and all appointments for the program filled in just 2 days of the program's announcement. The vision screening will be offered each month at the Public Health Nursing offices at Gaunt Place, and appointments can be made by calling 908-806-4570. We're glad to see such a positive response to this program, and thank the Health Department for adding this service for our residents. In addition to the vision screening program, the Health Department continues to provide COVID vaccine free of charge for all residents ages 6 months and above. While I am advised that COVID rates are low in Hunterdon County, it is important for residents to continue to protect themselves against COVID and any other respiratory illnesses. For those seeking a booster shot, the Health Department is offering a vaccine clinic for ages 5 and above tomorrow, Wednesday, May 17th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. The clinic will be held at building number 1 at the county complex on Route 12 in Warren Township. No appointment is required, and if you're unable to attend tomorrow night, an additional clinic will be held on June 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. In addition to the vaccine clinics at the Route 12 campus, public health nurses from the Health Department will be providing COVID vaccine at the Harvest Family Success Center, May 24th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Health Department is partnering with Prevention Resources, Inc. and other community agencies to provide vaccine throughout the county. Later on tonight's agenda, we'll hear an update from our Health Department Director, Karen DeMarco, regarding the recent expiration of the federal COVID-19 public health emergency. And the closing as Hunterdon County's liaison to the New Jersey Association of Counties, where I have the privilege to serve as first vice president. It's a great honor to accept the award for what was titled the Best Looking Booth at the recent conference, which was held in Atlantic City. The 72nd Annual NJAC Conference brought together over 500 elected and appointed officials and business leaders to focus on issues that impact our counties and residents within the state of New Jersey. Hunterdon County's booth, which highlighted the Explore Hunterdon campaign, was a popular destination for conference attendees, and a job well done for all those involved for putting together the exhibit. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Commissioner. And applicants for FEMA assistance post-disaster. The county will be hosting an NJOEM for a FEMA public and individual assistance overview training on June 21st. So I know that hosting a workshop like that was a priority of yours, Director Rich, and so happy to help turn that idea into reality. And we'll be working with Director Fahey and Administrator Meyer to send out information about the briefing to local officials and OEM personnel. Switching gears as liaison to our various constitutional and statutory officers, I wanted to acknowledge the County Tax Administrator, Tony Porto, who is here and who will be speaking later on the agenda. Mr. Porto will be explaining the purchase of data processing software for the county's tax office. The county is obligated by the Division of Taxation to have the software to assist our 26 municipalities and their assessors in the management of approximately 56,000 properties located throughout the county. This is not a new expense to the county. In fact, County Purchasing Agent Ray Rule went out to bid for a 3-year contract to get the best price and service available, which he did. And finally, as an alternate delegate to NJAC, I wanted to follow up on Commissioner Van Doren's remarks about the recent conference in Atlantic City. I too was very impressed with the exhibit our team put together. The ongoing investment in the Explore Hunterdon tourism program is paying real dividends to our small businesses. In fact, I was advised that a statewide industry trade group is considering hosting a conference in Hunterdon County based upon learning about the vineyards located on the 579 trail. So great job by our team. Let's keep that going. And that concludes my remarks. Thank you, Director.
Okay, great. Deputy Director Cool.
Thank you, Director. As liaison to the Department of Planning and Land Use, I have several updates that I'd like to share with you. The Culture and Heritage Commission is hosting 3 free technical assistance workshops for county arts, cultural, and history nonprofits. The first of these workshops focus on volunteer engagement and will be presented by Michelle Francisconi of Jersey Cares. The workshop will take place at 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, May 23rd at the May Branch Library, Hunterdon County on Route 12. Light refreshments will be served, and more information on this and other workshops can be found at our Culture and Heritage page on the county website under Technical Assistant Workshops. New Jersey State Teen Arts Festival will take place May 30th, 31st, and June 5th at Middlesex County College. Hunterdon County will be represented at the state festival with works of visual art from 24 Hunterdon County high school and middle school students. Cultural and Heritage staff is working with our local schools, the Hunterdon County Library, county nonprofits, arts organizations to revive Hunterdon County Teen Arts Festival in 2024. In my capacity as liaison to the Department of Human Services, there are several items I'd like to highlight. Division of Housing will be accepting preliminary applications for Section 8 Housing Choice Lottery on June 1st, 2023. The application will be available online and will remain open through and including June 15th. There's a link to the application on the Housing Division website. Housing staff will be available 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday while the waiting list is open, to assist individuals who need help with registering for the web portal. Housing Director Kevin Burkhart will be hosting 2 information sections for agencies who are interested in assisting their clients with preliminary applications. Any questions can be directed to the Division of Housing at 908-788-1336. Annual Senior Arts Show's special reception will be held May 19th from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Senior Center Art Gallery. Music will be provided by Ed Jankowitz, and water refreshments will be served. On Monday, May 22nd at 11:30 a.m., Joe Farkas, lecturer and former officer in the United States Army, will present the Revolutionary War lecture entitled The Declaration of Independence, the Whole Story. This fascinating presentation will be the Declaration of Independence from conception to celebration, documents the day of the journey and the celebration. Pre-registration is required as well by May 17th. And also you can call 908-788-1359. Finally, last week, Director Rich and I visited with the staff members of the Public Health Nursing for a luncheon in honor of National Nurses Week. The theme of the luncheon was Let's Taco About Our Fantastic Nurses, and it was Taco Tuesday as well. We enjoyed many delicious homemade dishes ranging from homemade rice and beans, guacamole, slow roasted pulled pork. Not only are they good nurses, but they can cook. Not only did we enjoy the good food and the conversation, we also had an opportunity to express our appreciation to them for their public nursing staff for their continued fine work through the pandemic and today. So that concludes my report.
New all-inclusive playground that's currently underway. Installation crews are making great progress, and it's anticipated that the playground will be fully operational by the end of June. I don't think Danny's here. It's in the minutes, so you better make it happen. Upon completion of the playground, it's the board's intention to have a public dedication ceremony, and details will be forthcoming about that soon. This past weekend, I also participated in the commencement ceremony at Raritan Valley Community College along with Deputy Director Cool and Commissioner Soloway and Van Doren. I had the honor of addressing the graduates and was very impressed by their accomplishments and diversity of backgrounds. A lot of nurses, Karen. Did you know that?
No.
A lot, right?
Like 25% of them.
Yeah.
Like 100. There was 500 there, so 100 plus nurses. So it's awesome. So the ongoing relationship between Somerset and Hunterdon counties with respect to supporting Raritan Valley Community College has yielded dividends for our residents. RVCC was the first bi-county community college established in the state of New Jersey, and the institution continues to receive accolades at the state and national level. Finally, as Commissioner Van Doren touched upon earlier, I'd like to extend my congratulations to our Hunterdon County team also for the best booth at the NJAC conference in AC. The Explore Hunter brand, it's truly catching on and showcases our excellent small businesses, wineries, breweries, and our robust agritourism industry here in Hunterdon County. So thank you. Now, recognizing, I'm going to say your first name, Andrew, Justin, Owen, and John of Boy Scout Troop 200 of Lebanon, and upon achieving Eagle Scout. So guys, why don't you tell us about your projects and what you got going on, and we'll do a motion, take some pictures.
Sure.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I'll start. I'm John Marcocha. I'm a senior at North Hunterdon High School, and I plan to attend the University of Scranton and study computer science.
You went there too? I knew one person did. I didn't. Okay, cool.
My project was at the Immaculate Conception School. They had a garden there that they used for science classes, so I added on to that, including 2 new raised beds for their garden and a storage container for their tools, which was 10 foot tall, 4 foot deep. That's the gist of it.
Fantastic.
My name is Justin Brown. I also go to North Hunterdon High School. I'm going to Bucknell University for computer science and engineering. And I worked with him. I actually built the fence to a community garden. It was 9 feet tall, 25 by 50 feet across, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
I'm Andrew Bazzi. I'm a senior at North Hunterdon also. I'm going to High Point University to study finance, and my project was to, like added on to his, was to build 10 garden beds 4 by 8.
My name is Owen Maslanka. I'm a homeschooler. I plan on taking a gap year after this to really figure out what I'm doing. My Eagle Scout project is a flag retirement bin where people can turn in their tattered and worn flags, and a website where people can dedicate part of the bin project that I've made to service members that they had in their family, dating all the way back to the Revolutionary War till now.
Guys, you're making it happen. So before we do this, can we have a motion for the resolution?
So moved.
Second. Give it to you, Jeff.
All right, motion by Commissioner Lanza, seconded by Deputy Director Cool. Roll call, Mr. Song.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes.
And Mr. Rich?
Yes. All right, guys. Let's take a picture. Does family want to come up too? Who's that one? It says one. Oh, that's like a
That's Owen.
Oh, the Owen, okay.
Thank you.
Well, here's Andrew. That's you. Thank you. Oh, here's Owen. I got an Owen here. You got an Owen here? No. Here, you take this one. You take that one. Here's John.
Thanks.
And Brad, we have one for everybody that we got.
We should have one for everyone now.
So we got one for everybody. So I'll hold this one. This evening is recognizing Arborist of the Year Award winner, Hunterdon County Shade Tree Commission member and arborist Hans Henvicki. Hans, I don't know if we, yeah, there you are. Congratulations, Can you tell us a little bit about, what you got going on and how'd you make this happen? It's for the state.
Yeah, well, yes, the New Jersey Arborist Association International Society of Arboriculture chapter. So it is kind of a big deal knowing that people have won it in the past. I mean, one of the winners in the past is a gentleman here from New Jersey who's been 3-time world champion tree climber, which is world recognition. New Jersey licensed tree expert, one of the hardest tests I've ever taken in my life. I was more proud of that than graduating college. I passed it the first time. I have a low number. It's usually what you ask other people when you meet another tree expert here in New Jersey. I'm passionate, I'm involved. I do a lot of volunteer work. I'm on the ISA Board Arbor Association here in New Jersey, and I'm on the Hunterdon County Shade Tree, and I hope that we can start promoting something for Arbor Day in 2026 on the 250th anniversary of our great country. So think about trees, hug trees every day, very important. We're losing a lot. We have a lot of bad bugs out there. So keep the faith, plant some trees.
How long have you been on the Shade Tree Commission?
I was chair for 2 or 3 years. Probably been on it maybe 10.
Let's go 10 years. 10 years sounds about right. He was chair for at least 2, maybe 3 years. So just recently gave
you
it
were
up.
liaison there for a while.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, you guys are the real deal. Like, I'm in the concrete business, I can tell you anything about concrete and that kind of stuff, and you guys, it's your skill set when it comes to this is unbelievable. I think I've done everything wrong on my little property with damaging my trees.
From my perspective, I've been in the business. I'm a production climber. It's great. I have education, but I get to play outside. But in the past 10 to 15 years, very serious people have started studying trees. I mean, we have physicists, mechanical engineers. They don't know how trees hold themselves up. So the amount of information and literature about trees is off the charts, and it's fascinating, great stuff.
Well, we appreciate you donating your time and being a part of what we're trying to do in Hunterdon County. So I'm gonna give you this, take a picture. But
we're supposed to be receiving a proclamation for our 100-year of service to the community in Ringo's, Hunterdon County, from the freeholders, from the commissioners. I'm sorry, messed that up.
You're leading.
I've been in there. Myself has been a member 50 years. That's why I'm here as something special. So
we have a big parade coming
Saturday. Yeah, big parade. We got a lot of fire companies coming. We got quite a few bands, old cars, and I'm the Grand Marshal. So it should be a good day. Unless it rains. But we'll do the best we can.
You got the Farmer's Almanac, don't you? It'll say no rain.
I didn't read that yet. I'll read that on Monday.
Uh-oh. All right.
It's gonna be great.
No, we got a bunch of fire companies coming, some bands, typical parade. And it should be, providing the weather's good, it'll be a good time. After the parade, there's a party behind the firehouse. And back here, we got a band playing back there. And some food. So you're all invited. Everybody's invited. You guys are invited to step on the judge's stand if you want to.
So we're lining up at 10
What's
o'clock, 11 o'clock
It
kickoff?
starts yeah, we line up after 9:30. It
Yeah.
starts at 11.
Yeah.
Parade is supposed to be lined up and on the move at 11 o'clock. Right
Great.
down through the center ring goes on 579 or John Ringo Road. Goes down. Our judge's stand will be at the Sunoco station.
Yep.
And we'll go past that and then just turn right into the firehouse. That'll be it. But join the festivities. I hope to see you all there. So.
Deputy Director Poole said that the 75th was busy.
That was the 75th, I think, the last.
75th was quite an outstanding parade.
Yeah, that was quite a parade, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
We won't tell any secrets. No, that was a good one. I expect this one to be just as good. I heard you're gonna bring a car.
I am. My husband.
Okay, you're all up. You got an old car, bicycle, you wanna ride in the parade, help yourself.
Yeah. He's
But, so, you can ride the car and then join the festivities afterwards.
I'll be there.
Good deal.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming in. So we've got two proclamations here. I'm gonna do the first one, recognizing you, Mr. Bond, as the Grand Marshal of the Amwell Fire Company. So can we have a motion for that, for this proclamation?
Seconded.
Motion by Deputy Director Poole, seconded by Commissioner Lanza. Mr. Rossano, roll call, please.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes. I'm going to do another one for the Amwell Fire Company on the 100th anniversary this Saturday, May 20th. Can we have a motion for this proclamation?
Motion.
Seconded.
Motion by Commissioner Soloway, second by Commissioner Lanza. Mr. Rossano, roll call.
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
The reason I won this opportunity to be Grand Marshal, I've been an active member for 50 years, so just this year was my 50th year.
50 years.
So, anyhow.
You're half the length of the fire department.
That's right.
100 years.
So you joined the fire company when it was
We've been
2
there
years
100 years. I've only been there
I just
50.
wanted to take a moment and expand. Commissioner Van Doren shared that the public health emergency was lifted on the federal side. That occurred last Thursday, May 11th. So the federal government allowed the national public health emergency order to expire for COVID-19. This is a significant milestone in our recovery from the pandemic, and it was driven by the decrease in COVID cases and widespread availability of testing and vaccines for the public. With the conclusion of the public health emergency, this is a time to acknowledge the work and dedication of the public health workforce and medical care providers throughout the pandemic. Thank you to all who have worked tirelessly to investigate outbreaks of disease, provide testing, administer vaccines, and provide information to control the spread of illness. Health personnel have not only lived a historic public health event, but have shaped it and helped to control it. Since March 15th, 2020, there have been 30,581 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Hunterdon County residents, and 252 confirmed fatalities resulting from COVID infection. The COVID response team and public health nursing staff at the health department investigated over 200 outbreaks of COVID-19 during the pandemic. That includes schools, child care centers, long-term care facilities, and workplace settings. Since December 2020, over 25,000 doses of vaccine in more than 100 clinics have been provided to residents by the Hunterdon County Health Department. With more than 90% of residents receiving at least one dose of vaccine, the protection against severe illness has served as a major factor for the federal conclusion of the public health emergency. In the year 2020, we were provided with some unique challenges as the triple-demic of COVID-19, RSV, and influenza spread throughout the United States. All these illnesses can present with similar symptoms, and delays in testing created challenges in inaccurate diagnosis and treatment. The Division of Public Health Nursing, along with the Division of Public Health Preparedness, continue to support both residents and facilities experience outbreaks as COVID-19 and non-COVID respiratory illnesses spread. As we know, personal protective equipment is a critical tool in controlling the spread of illness. During the pandemic, the county provided over 305,000 pieces of PPE in the form of masks, gowns, gloves, and face shields to medical care providers throughout Hunterdon County. Personal protective equipment was maintained in the health department stockpile and distributed to medical facilities with the support of the Office of Emergency Management. Since Hunterdon County's first confirmed case of COVID-19 on March 15, 2020, our office has provided over 1,100 daily reports of the number of newly confirmed COVID cases. The COVID case reporting from the department has served as key information for medical personnel, first responders, elected officials, school leadership, community agencies, local and state public health staff, and for the public. With the conclusion of the public health emergency, our department's daily reporting of COVID cases will be discontinued. While daily reporting will conclude, Hunterdon County Health Department staff will continue to investigate outbreaks of COVID and other respiratory disease and provide updates to the public. Much like influenza and RSV, we likely will experience seasonal surges of illness. And during those times, residents are encouraged to continue to take steps to protect their health, and the department, again, will provide updates to the commissioners and the public on an ongoing basis. With the expiration of the public health emergency on the federal level, there likely will be some changes in terms of long-term availability of free vaccine and medication from federal sources. And insurance coverage for at-home COVID test kits may potentially be eliminated. We have not received specific information on that, but when we do, we'll provide that to you. Despite the conclusion of the public health emergency, the health department will continue to provide COVID vaccine and free test kits to residents as long as we have them on hand and while there is a public demand for that service. I just want to take a moment to thank the commissioners and the administration for your support. I know that some other colleagues of mine throughout the country have not had the same support that our department has, and I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you, Karen. So we need a motion to approve resolution number 1.
Sure. Yeah. So before you is a resolution authorizing the Hunterdon County Health Department to apply for renewal of the Links Public Health Emergency Preparedness Grant for $404,635 for the grant period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. This is a grant that the Health Department has received since 2003. After the events of September 11th and the anthrax attacks of 2001, New Jersey Department of Health created this grant funding, designated a lead public health agency for each county. So this provided funding for the framework for much of the skills and program that was used to combat COVID-19 and to respond. It includes volunteer management, emergency public information and warning, information sharing, medical materials management and distribution, as well as public health surveillance and epidemiological investigation. So that is the resolution before you tonight.
Okay, great. Sorry to get in front of you on that.
No,
one.
no, it's okay.
That's my fault. So we have a motion by Commissioner Van Doren. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Deputy Director Cool. Mr. Rosato.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
And Mr. Rich?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now for a new data processing service for the Board of Taxation. Can you tell us what that means for the public and its services?
So, Hunterdon County Tax Board operates off of, right now it's Vital, but it will be going to BRT Technologies. And that is our Mod 4 CAMA software provider that is used in the assessing of homes. So when we're valuing the properties throughout the county, and approximately, I think we're now at $25 or so billion in rateables on our way to projecting to head towards $27 billion next year. So when the assessors are out there working on properties, they measure it. This technology now ties into iPads, other devices where you can do sketches on scene, and it loads directly to the software. Makes it more user-friendly not only for the assessors, but also ensures accuracy, as now we won't have as much data entry errors, whereas someone taking the notes may be handing it off to someone else, or the person on the computer makes more computer errors. So this will reduce the error rate with the assessments of properties. This is a shared service agreement. We not only provide the software to our 26 municipal assessor's office, we also do the notice of assessment cards annually as a shared service to the municipalities to keep. The county does this as a way to save the municipalities and their tax levies. So it's a very good shared service that helps the municipal governments in this county. The great news was when we did open up the bids, the first year we're seeing a 4.3% overall decrease in the cost for the contract, and most of that will be seen actually in those notice of assessment cards you get annually in the mail. There's substantial savings on that end, whereas our monthly charge did go up. Overall, it's a $4,718 decrease in the first year. The following 2 years, it begins to go back up again, just like everything with inflation. Overall, the entire contract over a 3-year period is only a 2.1% increase. So it's actually been good news for us. So I'm pleased to be able to announce that, and the assessor's doing a great job, and I wouldn't be there without the team behind me. So, and I always appreciate the county being part of that county team.
Absolutely. So I'm a novice, but I remember, is it Vital? Is that what everyone?
Vital was bought by Harris.
Okay.
So right now, they still use the name Vital on the bills and everything, but Harris they didn't bring a bid in. They actually arrived about a half hour after the bid closed. But BRT actually is, in my opinion, is a more technologically savvy. I don't want to get too much into details, but essentially what had happened was years ago, I'll give you a little bit of American enterprise. So years ago, a bunch of assessors were tired of Big Bear, Vital, and Harris not adding more software. So they developed these devices. They called them PRC power pads, taken in the field to inspect properties. They developed that software. Then there was a bit of a falling out between Vital and them. Vital was threatening to cut off their PRC power pads. Those programmers went and created their own company, got themselves certified, began picking up counties, and this time around, they now stand at 9 counties that they service. So they're now well established.
So you can get everybody trained up, I guess?
Yes, so we began training already in our office, and we're setting the framework for showing the assessors. Some of the assessors have already been on BRT. They work in other counties like Mercer and Somerset. And we also were allowing the counties that use PPA as a reval firm that use BRT technologies, we've been allowing them over the last couple of years to store the data on both systems so that if this did happen, it would be a smoother transition.
Fantastic. All right, Tony into motion, so we can go collect taxes, do things. Can we get a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Lanza, second by Deputy Director Cool. Mr. Sano, roll call.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes?
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
And Mr. Rich?
Yes. Thank you, Tony, for vote this evening, and we want to kick it off with resolution number 1.
Resolution number 1 is going to be authorizing the county budget to be read by title only. By approving this resolution, we can read the budget by title instead of line by line, provided that the approved budget has been posted, advertised, and made available. The governing body passes this resolution, and New Jersey statute permits the budget to be read by title only, opposed to reading the entire budget line by line, number by number. And that would just take very, very long. That's all there is for resolution number 1.
Okay.
So for county budget, just some few notes on the county budget this year. We're using $13,500,000 in fund balance. We have an amount to be raised by taxes for county purposes of $79,207,320.53. This is a flat tax rate again this year, and our total overall general revenue is $108,301,856. We have no anticipated debt service payments, as once again, the county budget does not contain issuing any debt.
That's the plan. Can we have a motion for resolution number 2?
Good.
Open the public hearing. All right, we'll open the public hearing. And a second.
Second.
Okay, motion by Deputy Director Cool, second by Commissioner Van Doren. Mr. Sano, roll call.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes?
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
And Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Public hearing's open.
Yeah. Anybody got any opinion?
Move to vote to close the public hearing.
Seeing none,
Second.
motion by Commissioner Van Doren,
Second.
second by Commissioner Soloway. Mr. Sano, roll call.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes?
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
So tonight's budget adoption represents the culmination of a goal that we set back out in January at the reorganization meeting, which was to freeze the county tax rate. Freezing the tax rate is more than a talking point. Holding the line on taxes is all about helping our residents to keep more of their hard-earned dollars in the face of rising prices everywhere else due to inflation. For the 5th consecutive year, this board has achieved a flat tax rate, while at the same time making important investments in the county's future, such as the new Emergency Services Training Center. The county tax rate in the introduced 2023 budget is 31.5 cents per $100 of property valuation. That rate in 2018 was the same 31.5 cents per $100 of property valuation. So as I stated before, this has been accomplished because of the sound budgetary and financial foundation established through the conservative fiscal philosophy of the current and past Hunterdon County Commissioner boards. So again, I extend my thanks to the Budget Committee members, Commissioner John Lanza and Commissioner Sean Van Doren, thank you, Sean, for your work in producing this tax freeze budget. I also want to extend the board's thanks to our Administrator, Brad Meyer, and our retiring CFO, Janet Previtt, and of course our new CFO, Andrew Burnett. Thank you, good job. The county's, the directors for all their efforts to help produce the 2023 budget. In closing, earlier this year I reported that the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute, with support provided by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, released rankings that named Hunterdon County as one of the healthiest in New Jersey, and so we're financially strong too. And with the fiscal year 23 budget, it demonstrates that not only is the health of the people of the county good, so is our fiscal health. So I know that Commissioner Van Doren and Lanza will have some additional remarks. Do you want to keep it open?
I should defer to Commissioner Van Doren.
Okay, thank you, Director. I couldn't agree more with your sentiments, and as I noted previously, it takes a team to accomplish our annual budget. Tonight's vote on the fiscal year county budget is a vote for a budget that holds the county tax rate flat for the 5th consecutive year, as the Director said. And as I have stated in the past, this doesn't happen by chance, but rather as a result of a detailed budget review process where we go line by line through expenses to ensure taxpayers' dollars are used wisely and sparingly. This year's budget continues to make investments in the future through the leveraging of state and federal grant opportunities. An example of this is matching the New Jersey Department of Transportation grant dollars to upgrade county infrastructure, including bridges and roadway resurfacing. The fiscal year 23 county budget also maintains the Commissioner Board's ongoing strategy of pay-as-you-go capital spending and keeps Hunterdon County debt-free. At a time of rising interest rates and high inflation, continuing to keep Hunterdon County debt-free is particularly important to our taxpayers. I want to thank my colleague, Commissioner John Lanza, for his work on this year's budget preparation. I'd also like to thank our CFO, Andrew Burnett, our Deputy CFO, Mike Franchini, our County Administrator, Brad Meyer, our Deputy County Administrator, Shannon Taylor, and our County Counsel, Trina Campbell, for their collective work on the Budget Committee as well. I look forward to supporting tonight's budget adoption.
Tax rate for 5 straight years is a testament to the ongoing fiscal discipline displayed by this board and a demonstration of our commitment to our county taxpayers. Commissioner Van Doren spoke earlier about important investments contained within this budget, and to that end, as liaison to the Department of Public Safety, I once again wish to remind everybody that this year's budget contains the necessary funding to support the build-outs of phases 2 and 3 of the Emergency Services Training Center. The Emergency Services Training Center, if I may just add something, when it's all said and done, is going to be the 3rd most expensive project in the history of this county. Number 1 being the county courthouse. Number 2 being the Polytech school that we are going to complete on the North Hunterdon campus. And these projects are going to be completed without raising the county tax rate or without borrowing a dollar on the side of the county. So the construction of a modern and properly equipped emergency services training center is a demonstration of this board's commitment to our first responders who risk their lives every day on our behalf. Construction of the new administration and emergency equipment storage facilities will complement the new burn building, which is already nearing completion at the site. I want to thank everybody involved in this process. I'd like to echo the sentiments of Commissioner Van Doren, everyone who put this budget together, and especially my colleague Commissioner Van Doren for his support funding the completion of the Emergency Services Training Center, which is something that's been long overdue for completing. And we talked about turning ideas into reality. Well, the Emergency Services Training Center Phases 2 and 3 will be reality, and thanks to this budget, without borrowing a dime.
It's as good as it gets. Do you have any, you ready for a motion? You got
Motion.
All right, so CFO would like a motion.
So I'll move adoption of the 2023 county budget.
Motion by Commissioner Van Doren,
Seconded.
second by Commissioner Lanza. Roll call, Mr. Song.
Mr. Van Doren?
Yes.
Mr. Lanza?
Yes.
Ms. Soloway?
Yes.
Mr. Cool?
Yes.
And Mr. Rich?
Yes.